All right, welcome back to the channel. Showtime Boxing, is it going out of business? Inquiring minds want to know. And also, ESPN, should it be going out of business of boxing? The ratings are speaking quite loudly. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. We got some Steve Kim initiated gossip, unheard of, in this video. Before I get into that though, I want to welcome you back to the channel, subscribers. Hey, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. Excuse me. Also, thank you so much to everybody in the live stream that supports the live stream through the Patreons, through the super chat. We got a special gift that I'm going to give to about 3 different subscribers. Pay attention to the end of the video, and I'm going to let you know how we can do it. We got some Monte Cristos and some Cojibas straight from Cuba that we're going to get out to people. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for the support in the Patreon, in the super chats, and in the Cash App. Thank you very, very much. Now let's get into this. All right. Couple interesting things, man. Let me turn that off. Couple interesting things. I'm going through Steve Kim. I wake up and I go through my Twitter, right? My Twitter boxing. I'm becoming a Twitter boxing head. I'm taking part in Twitter boxing. Shout out to my man, Fahim Satur. And I see a bunch of panic messages about Showtime going out of business in boxing, and how people are like, oh, is it going away? Oh, well, hey, man, if Showtime Boxing goes away, that means I got to get rid of Showtime, because that's the only reason I have it, is because of because of the boxing, right? So I go through and I'm searching, I'm trying to find out where it is exactly that this thing started. And the earliest thing that I could find was from Steve Kim. And Steve Kim says something to the effect, I'll put it up in the graphic so you can see exactly what the tweet said. I don't have it in front of me while I'm doing this video. He says, I don't know where Showtime Boxing is going, right? They don't have it. They haven't announced any fights. But if they're gone, I'll miss them. I'll miss especially Showbox, because when they work with proper promoters, Steve Kim can't stand when fighters are their own promoters. The show is good. So, bunch of conversations about whether or not Showtime Boxing is going to go out of business. Showtime is leaving boxing. Now, that's a rumor that was also spread by Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum, who predicted by the end of 2018 that Showtime would be going out of boxing. This is, right along the lines coming from the same people that have been predicting since 2014 or 2015 that the PBC was going out of business. Now, Stephen Espinoza comes and says, no, that's not the case. As much love as, we're as dedicated as boxing forever. We'll be announcing our fights coming up soon. So Stephen Espinoza denies that Showtime Boxing is going out of business. Now, I find it funny that Steve Kim, first of all, Steve Kim is just a notorious PBC hater of the PBC. One of the most obvious haters of the PBC. The dude's got no shame whatsoever. And he is, I do believe, a sports writer for ESPN. But I wonder why he might be hoping that the PBC goes out of business. Could be because in the month of July and August, that the Showtime Boxing is outperforming ESPN. Not just outperforming it as a percentage basis, right? Doing better for the number of subscribers, but beating them in actual number of people that are watching fighting on the network. ESPN is flopping something fierce in the month of August. They had 3 cards late July through August, right? You have Navrati, this fight with Navrati that oversized 122-pound fighter, which is just like, get out of here, man. This dude should be fighting. That dude should be fighting at 130 without a doubt. Anyway, so he got Navrati pretending to be this big powerhouse when he's fighting guys way smaller than him. Right. Anyway, he averaged 471,000 on Showtime. You have the Shakur Stevenson card, which was their best of their last three. Shakur Stevenson did the best, averaging 530,000 viewers on a network of, again, over 8 million. ESPN is in the house. I'm saying 8 million, but it is probably a lot more. It's available in every home in the United States that has cable. Then you have Ray Beltran's last fight. Ray Beltran, and I do believe that was Ray Beltran versus, was it Comey? Was 490,000 people watched that on ESPN. Gervonta Davis against somebody that nobody knows on Showtime did average 553,000. The fight before that, he averaged somewhere around 480,000, roughly around there. Now, that means that Showtime is performing on par and beating ESPN in pure ratings. Why isn't Steve Kim asking what's going wrong with ESPN boxing and trying to find a way to cast a shadow on Showtime boxing? Could it be because he's working there? Could it be because he is in the pocket of Bob Arum, and that's who gives him his press credentials? Those are he and Oscar De La Hoya, who's over with the Zone. Now, I find it interesting that Stevie Boy, and now he's not alone. He's not alone. There are two boxing organizations that are spending a lot of money on boxing, and our boxing numbers have tanking. ESPN and the Zone. ESPN, we talk about these network wars that were taking place. There's a lot of talk about that last year. Fox, Showtime, ESPN, and the Zone. ESPN refuses to promote their number one fighter, their best fighter that they have, the fighter that more than likely would get them better ratings. The highest rating that I heard of, and somebody can correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, for ESPN has been Terrence Crawford. It was Terrence Crawford, Julius Ndungo did like 2 million. You had Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Lomachenko that did like 1.7 million. Now we'll see what happens whether or not Lomachenko versus Luke Campbell is going to be on. I'm not sure if that's going to be the Zone or whether that's going to be on ESPN, but Lomachenko's usually doing somewhere around one. They put him on pretty much the best date that they have, which is around they're going to put him on around the Heisman and catch a little bump up off that Heisman. But still, he's probably going to do $1.2 million, $1.3 million, something like that on ESPN, where you have guys like Jamal Charlo, Hurd, J-Rock, guys like that on regular on Fox doing over 2 million. Lomachenko's going to be doing numbers somewhere similar on ESPN, somewhere similar to what Caleb Plant is doing on Fox. So I'm thinking to myself, what is this? Why? Well, we know what it is, why this is happening. These guys, by and large, will not promote American fighters. That's why their numbers aren't good. It's not complicated. They don't promote enough American fighters. DAZN has a slightly different problem than ESPN. DAZN has the problem that nobody has DAZN, and nobody's going to pay $20 a month. And if they go up $30 a month to watch boxers named Liam, shout out to my man 78, bunch of fighters that nobody's seen, they might buy it the month of the fight if Canelo was on, and then they are not going to buy it after that. And there ain't no Gennady Golovkin versus Deverenchenko going to save that, because neither Gennady Golovkin or Deverenchenko are American either. It's just, American boxing looks a certain way. Okay? American boxing looks a certain way. And I truly believe that they don't want to promote American boxing because American boxing really and truly looks too much like the NBA to them. And they want to make sure that they have these faces that will eventually, they hope someday, grab these casual fans and bring them back to the sport of boxing. It's not going to work. That's the MMA. Dana White has those guys. Dana White has the American fighters that the American fighters and the high-level fighters that they want to see. That is the mixed martial arts arena. It's not the boxing arena. The boxing arena are Americans, and most of these of the good American fighters are with and signed to the PBC. Whether it's the good American fighters out of the state of Texas, whether that's the Houston area or the Dallas area, whether it's people out there in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, or it's the Philadelphia fighters, or it's a guy from Omaha, Nebraska, or it's people out there from San Francisco. That's American from the Bay Area. That's American boxing. But they refuse to promote it. They want to try to sell you Chocolatitos. They want to try to sell you Navratis. They want to try to sell you a Golovkin. They want to try to sell you, Lomachenko is a hell of a fighter though. You know, great fighter. They're trying to sell you a Lomachenko. Now they're trying to sell you sell you a Tyson Fury dream dressed up like Apollo Creed. It's not going to work. And all of the trying to say, and if Showtime was going to go out of business and leave boxing, all they're going to do is shift to Fox. Okay. And your problem ain't going to go away because they have the talent in boxing, and not all of your made up pound for pound lists are going to change that. And it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.